Y'all know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game, and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
Today I want to tell y'all about identifying the holes in your game, because we all have a game. We know that, right? Whatever you do, if you're a teacher, you got your teaching game. You're an athlete, you got your athletic game. If you're an author, you got your writing game. If you're whatever it is you do, you're a parent, there's a parenting game. You're in a relationship, there's a game to your relationship. When I say game, I don't mean playing games like playing around. I mean game it's kind of like a sport. There's a skill to it, there's a strategy to it. You can get better at it. If you don't pay attention to the right things, they can atrophy, you can get worse. So you always have to know what your game is. You got to know what you're good at in the game so that you can angle everything that you're doing, your actions, towards what you're good at, so you can accentuate your positives. And the things that you're not good at, you need to either eliminate them, meaning try not to put yourself in a position where those are going to get exposed, and or at the same time you want to make sure you're better at those things. So I'll tell you something. A while ago, thank you Sarah and King Mike for inviting followers. A while ago I was talking to my cousin. He was playing basketball at the time. I think he might have been in high school, or maybe he was just starting college, and he had sent me a text, as we don't live in the same state, improve my skills. What can I do? And I said, well, look, you can come down to South Florida in the summer, you can work with me, but first I need to know what is it that you want to get good at? Tell me what parts of your game you want to improve in. And he said, everything. Any of you athletes ever say that? Like somebody asks you what you want to get better at, what you think you need to get better at, and you're like, everything. Well, listen, I said to him, look, I understand that you want to get better at everything, and you're right, you do need to get better at everything. Every player does. But at the same time, if you're asking me to help you, I need to know specifically what it is you want to work on, so I know where we can begin. It's the same thing when I work with my trainer. Y'all probably seen videos with me with my trainer, Maria. You can see those on my YouTube channel. Just look up my name on YouTube. I got 4,000 videos on there. She would always say to me, whenever I called her and said, hey, let's get in this next session tomorrow, she'd say, all right, cool. What do we need to work on? What issues are you facing right now that we need to get better at? And I would have to tell her what I needed to get better at. When I first started working with her, I couldn't answer the question. I didn't really know. But the more I worked with her, I started learning. I said, okay, well, look, when I'm in my defensive position, I'm sliding this way, I'm feeling a little pain right here. Or I find that I'm not as quick as I want to be when I'm going from offense to defense. Or I'm having this issue where when I'm exploding past somebody, for whatever reason, I'm feeling some pain in my back. Or whatever it is. Those are hypothetical things I'm just making up. But what it is I had to start identifying what I wanted to get better at. It's kind of like we call blind spots. I heard this guy speaking. He was talking about his blind spots once. He had hired he's a business guy, and he had hired a coach, like a business coach for himself, because for whatever reason his business wasn't going the way he wanted his business to go. And the business coach started teaching him about identifying his blind spots. And if any of you ever drove a car before, you know that cars have blind spots, right? And some cars nowadays, depending on when your car was manufactured, now they had these blind spots. They had these blind spot of a car, you know, that you can look in the rear view mirror, see who's behind you. You can look in the side view mirrors, you can see who's to the side of you. But there's a certain point where somebody is beside you and behind you. There's a certain area for every vehicle that's a blind spot. If a car is right there, you can't see it in either one of your mirrors. And the only way you can actually see it is actually turn real quick and look to see if there's a car in that blind spot. And if you make a move without identifying that someone's in that blind spot, what happens? You could get into a car accident. And we all know that. We all drive cars. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you ride in a car with somebody who's driving, you probably see them do this often. Hopefully they do it. Hopefully they're paying attention. And it's the exact same thing in our lives, in our businesses, in our relationships, in our sports, whatever we do. You have to know what your blind spots are. What are the things in life that I need to get better at? What parts of my game, what parts of my basketball game do I need to get better at? What parts of my relationships do I need to get better at? What do I need to do better in this business that'll make this business better? And yes, we all know that we could all get better at everything. Yes, I could get better at talking to my customers. I can make better, confirmation receipts. I can improve each one of my products. I can make my prices a little bit better. Maybe I can do some type of promotion. Maybe I could hire some celebrity to endorse my product. Maybe I could do more content marketing. Maybe I could tweet more often. Maybe I could start using Instagram and Pinterest and Periscope. Any business owner could say all of those things and they would all be true. But you also have to know what are the most important things that are going to give you the highest rate of return. All of you are familiar with the phrase return on investment, ROI. That's not just a business thing, because an investment is everything you do. Each one of you right now is investing your resource, which is your phone, to listen to this Periscope stream, because you could be doing a whole bunch of other things with your phone right now, but you decided to invest in hearing what I have to say, and I'm going to give you a return on that investment by giving you something to think about, to use actionably, to use in your life that's going to make you better. It's going to give you a return on investment. So when you invest money, you got to get a return on that investment. You invest time, you invest energy, you invest emotions into something. You want to get a return on that investment. So what does that have to do with finding your blind spots in life? It means you need to look at everything that you're doing in whatever area you happen to be focusing on and ask yourself this question: which areas, if I invest time, money, effort, energy into those, whatever it happens to be, which area is going to give me the highest rate of return on my investment if I was to put my focus on this? And you have to be able to identify those things. One thing, three things, whatever it is. You don't want to say everything, because then your brain will be going in all different directions. You need to give your brain clarity. Y'all familiar with the phrase clarity, man? It comes from being clear. When you give your brain clarity, basically you tell your brain, this is exactly what we need to do. 1, 2, 3. Now your brain can kind of relax. It doesn't have to hold 50 things in it. It's not thinking everything, because when you say I need to work on everything, where do you begin when you got to work on everything? But if you say I need to work on talking to people, closing customers, and handling customer objections and customer complaints, now you gave yourself 3 things to focus on. Now the brain has clarity. A brain can organize 3 things. It can't organize everything, quote unquote everything. So when you give yourself clarity, it gives your brain an ability to focus on things, gives you a physical ability to focus on things, and then you can get to it and get it done. Should you focus on getting better at one specific thing at a time? Well, I kind of just talked about that. That's what I just talked about. So you have to identify, first of all, what are the things that will give you your highest return on investment. And then from there, you decide what you're going to focus on first, second, third. If there's only one thing, you focus on one thing. But you first must identify what are the things that will give you the highest ROI. Those of you checking this for the first time, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I've published 4,000 YouTube videos, 4,000 blog posts, 7 books. I'm a professional speaker. My background, pro athlete, played basketball overseas 9 years, come from Philadelphia, live in South Florida. I do these Periscope things almost every morning. We call it Thought Breakfast. It's something to start your day. I try to keep it short so y'all can get in and get out. I know everybody's getting ready to start their day, their business, their school, your work, whatever it is you happen to be doing. So y'all can catch me on Twitter at Dre All Day, Snapchat Dre Baldwin, Instagram Dre Baldwin. I told you I wrote 7 books. I got 2 more coming in the month of March. At least 1 more. I might put out 2 this month, but I'm going to put out at least 1. That'll be the Mirror Motivation Part 2. But you can catch all my books at my Periscope link, which is dreallday.com/Amazon. dreallday.com/Amazon. And last thing, I'm doing a webinar, free webinar tonight on my website. That'll be on time management. Time management. A lot of people ask me about that. So if you go to dreallday.com/time, like time like a clock, dreallday.com/time, that'll be my time management webinar, free tonight, 6:00 p.m. Eastern. 6:00 p.m. Eastern in the United States. So it's 6 something right now in the USA. So about 12 hours from now, free webinar on my website, dreallday.com/time. If you happen to miss that webinar, I will offer you'll be able to watch it later at a time of your choosing that fits your schedule. How much is the time management webinar? It's free. It's nothing. So basically you're paying with your attention. You're paying with your time, which is more valuable than your money. So you're coming to that webinar 6 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time, dreallday.com/time. And if you got any other questions for me, you can email me business inquiries directly, dre@dreallday.com. I'm looking for some workers, dreallday.com/biz, and my Snapchat, at Dre Baldwin. My name, at Dre Baldwin, is my Snapchat. Send this to somebody who needs to hear it. On your Periscope, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, however you like to share it. Just tell somebody to go watch it. Let them watch it on your phone. That's how you know. That's how you know it's real, when you give your phone to somebody else and let them hold it for a few minutes. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Make sure you get my first book, Buy a Game. It is free. Click the link right here below in the video description. I'm on all your favorite social media platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. All the links are right down here below. Is either Dre Baldwin or Dre All Day on each one of those sites. And make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down there and the thumbs up like button. Subscribe so you catch all the new content. I work on your game. Dre All Day.